8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hi, everyone.
Boom! Live again.
There we go. Oh, so you got the angle down. Wait, you're supposed to go from a higher up. Coming down like that affects the chin, like double chin.
That's we could work on that. See if we can go like this.
No,
there we go.
Well, no problem. Let's get into how are rates looking so far since anything changed today?
There was some news that went out last week that I didn't think it was true, but then I've seen it actually all over the internet, which was Chase and Wells Fargo. A lot of them are not accepting applications anymore to do cash out refinances, and they do not want to do them, which to me is it kind of gives you a sign of the times. That's kind of crazy times because those are two major institutions and they don't want to do cash out refinances, especially because rates are down around 3% to 3.25%, which is just amazing.
Oh, wow. So do any kind of cash out refis?
No, that's just Wells Fargo and Chase that are not wanting to accept any more applications for cash out refinances. They they want to do rate and term, but they don't want to do cash out. We're going to keep this on the party on the move a little bit because I may have to let my little one inside here. Sorry about that, people.
Yeah, no problem. I see she looks like one of the characters from Frozen.
Well, she's actually in the Elsa movie. That's the Frozen dress, right, Bunky? Yes. So we're in a princess attire. So, it's not a princess economy right now, but it doesn't mean that you can't make the best of it, right?
Yeah, I mean, properties are still selling. I think properties are coming off the market at still a fairly rapid pace, but still selling. We looked at from today, from last Monday to today, 700 and some properties went on the market with around 550 going into escrow.
That's still really good, though.
Yeah, properties are selling.
Yeah, people are still. Well, it's like me and you talked about before. There's a lot of opportunity when there's uncertainty, and so with the uncertainty in the market, it kind of gives you a leg up as a buyer because people who are selling right now in the current environment, probably not the best time to sell, right? I mean, what do you think?
Well, I think people are still looking to buy. So people are still looking to sell. I know on one of the current listings, we just got multiple offers over the weekend on it. It's still out there. Again, of course, for properties that maybe sit for a little bit longer, they can there can be some issues getting the property sold. The tough part, I know we've been talking about this for the last couple of weeks now, is if the property has people living in it, it's making it more and more difficult to get people inside. But people are still showing those properties. You just have to sign basically the PEAD form, and then you can go inside and take a look. Wear the booties, wear the mask, wear the gloves, and good to go. Yeah, so it's still possible to see properties. It's just a matter of getting access and taking a look and understanding the market. I think some people that aren't familiar with the market are looking at it still like a month, 2 months ago, but the market's definitely changing.
Oh, absolutely. And everyone's selling for the people who are selling for a different reason too, I would imagine. It's like everyone's taking some course of action for their own particular goals. And someone selling's goal may be to move to another place, upgrade the house, and buy in a better buyer's market. Or the person buying the house is just looking at it going, hey, this is opportunity. And I don't know when it's going to shift. I heard today all these different economists coming out, all talking about the U recovery. And that doesn't mean you, Vinnie. It means that you like the recovery. It means they think they hit the bottom and it's going to start U-shaping. Princess, don't do that, please. It means it means we're going to start recovering on the U side coming back up. If we start doing that, unfortunately, if the limited amount of supply we have in housing already, I think prices, unfortunately, are going to come up.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to sit again where rates are, and you already talked about that. Rates are crazy low still, so it pushes people to buy that have to purchase right now. I mean, one thing that I thought I would hear more about, I thought I'd hear more from my database and other people's database, people that own properties and have renters in there. I thought I'd hear more of an issue of the renters not paying their rent, but I haven't heard of much of that. I mean, I've heard for the most part, everyone's been kind of like working towards, staying on track, their rent, getting unemployment, getting the small business loan, stuff like that. So it really seems like kind of a positive on all fronts right there.
I mean, I have a couple property management clients that said they've had a little bit of issue, but you're correct. Like, not very many people at all doing that. I do hear a lot of people going into that forbearance type issue, which I don't think they read the fine print, because you're going to find people coming up in the future. They're going to realize, holy cow, rates are between 3 and 3.25%, and FHA and VA is like 2.75%. That's just stupid. And they're going to try and refinance, but they put their loan in forbearance. And now we're waiting on new rules to come out to go, how are we supposed to treat these people that put their loan in forbearance? So if you're thinking about forbearing your loan and possibly refinancing later, don't do it. Just wait. Talk to a smart lender. Have him work with you now, him or her. Want to make sure we're addressing both sides, that you talk to someone smart and not make a rash decision by not paying your mortgage in forbearance.
Yeah, I mean, know what you're getting, know the pros and cons of everything, because there's usually some cons to every pro. Just know kind of what those are. I think that's like the biggest thing to take away from this stuff right now.
You mentioned, pros and cons. Recently, I watched Tiger King. There was a lot of cons on that, and they were pros. It's pretty. If you got some free time, you want to kill some brain cells, watch Tiger King. It's definitely some pros. So, what else have you been seeing lately? Have you been seeing more buyers coming out going, price reduction, fix this, do this? Have you seen people be more demanding, or are people still being civil out there?
I think for the most part, people are being civil. I think for the most part, it's really with the team you use, the people you use, because we've talked about it. I mean, if your last deal was before this whole Corona thing, and you don't factor in how everything's going with Corona, then it could be a totally different thing. One thing that's really interesting is with all the buyer, the Zillow cash buyer things and all those other platforms that aren't buying investment properties, there's still investors out there that are looking to purchase properties. So, I mean, if you have a property that you're looking to sell, to get out of your home, I mean, they still have them out there. You're probably not getting as many letters as you were getting maybe a month or two ago, but you're probably still getting those 1 or 2 letters. So I think that's kind of interesting is how that kind of plays out, because usually for the most part, the big time investors are pretty savvy to know when they're purchasing and not purchasing. One thing I did hear is one of the hard money guys I use, he's starting to actually free up his guidelines a little more than it was just maybe a week or two ago when this all was going.
It's if you look up freeing up guidelines, all those loans out there that were what's considered non-QM, which means they weren't qualified mortgages, which means they're not backed by Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac, which means they're like a bank statement loan. They're like a loan where you can use self-employed income that hasn't been 2 years. All the loans with funky guidelines, those have all retracted back further, and they're almost not even in the market anymore. There's still a few, but for the most part, they dried up. And that hurts a lot of self-employed people, but hopefully that stuff will come back in 6 months from now.
Well, I mean, we're pretty much at that time right there. I think the moral of the story is, if you're looking to buy or sell, just talk to someone that you feel comfortable with, and they can kind of give you an update of what's looking in your hyper-focused market. I think in the higher price points, like we talked about the jumbo stuff, and that's just still fairly slow, but stuff under that 650, going real fast still. So please reach out if you have any questions. Follow us on our buyer seminars. We're gonna have one again this Saturday and the following Saturday for investor seminars.
Investor seminar. That's going to be new. That's for people that want to step up their game, unless you want to step down your game, which hopefully you don't.
See you guys.
Bye.